In a small dusty village, where narrow streets twisted between mud houses and children played barefoot under the scorching sun, lived a boy named Ayan. Life had never been kind to him. His father had passed away when he was very young, leaving his frail mother to care for him. With no steady income, every day was a battle for survival. Most days, Ayan survived on nothing more than a single piece of bread his mother managed to prepare. That bread was his strength, his hope, his lifeline. One evening, as the sky turned golden and villagers began returning from their work, Ayan's mother handed him their only bread. Her tired eyes looked at him lovingly, and she whispered, "Eat this, my son. You need strength for tomorrow." Ayan held the bread carefully, knowing very well that this was all they had. As he walked down the road, preparing to eat, he noticed an old couple sitting under a large tree by the roadside. Their clothes were torn, their faces pale, and their eyes filled with pain and hunger. The old woman held her stomach, trembling, while the old man stared blankly at the ground, his lips dry and cracked. Ayan's heart ached. He approached them and asked softly, "Are you okay, Grandpa?" The old man slowly raised his head and replied with a weak voice, "Son, we haven't eaten in 2 days. We thought perhaps tonight will be our last." Ayan froze. The bread in his hand suddenly felt heavier than ever. It was his only meal. The difference between strength and weakness, survival and exhaustion. His stomach growled, but his heart spoke louder. He knelt down, placed the bread in front of them, and said, "Please eat this. You need it more than I do." Tears rolled down the old woman's cheeks as she clutched his hand. "Bless you, child. You've saved our lives." That night, Ayan went to bed hungry. His stomach burned with emptiness, but strangely, his heart felt lighter, filled with a peace he had never known before. The next morning, as sunlight streamed into their small hut, Ayan heard the sound of a car engine outside. He stepped out, confused. A sleek black car stood in front of his house, its polished body reflecting the early sun. The villagers had gathered around, whispering in surprise. No one in the village had ever seen such a car before. From the car stepped a tall man in a sharp suit, his presence commanding attention. He looked directly at Ayan and smiled warmly. Ayan's heart pounded. Why is he here? Did I do something wrong? Am I in trouble? He wondered. The man approached and asked, "Are you Ayan?" Ayan nervously nodded. The man's smile widened. "Yesterday, did you give your only bread to an old couple sitting by the roadside?" Ayan hesitated, then quietly answered, "Yes, sir." The villagers leaned in, waiting for what would happen next. The man placed a hand on Ayan's shoulder. His voice softened as he said, "That old couple? They are my parents." Gasps rose from the crowd. Ayan's eyes widened in shock. The man continued, "I am a businessman from the city. My parents had gone out for a visit, but I had no idea they would end up stranded, hungry, and hopeless. When I found them last night, they told me about a poor boy, hungry himself, who sacrificed his only food for them. That boy was you." Ayan stood speechless, unable to believe what he was hearing. The man's tone grew emotional. "Son, kindness like yours is rare. You showed humanity when the world often forgets it. No money can repay what you did. But I want to make sure you and your mother never suffer again." He turned to his assistant and said, "Prepare everything. From today, Ayan and his mother will have a new home, proper treatment, and Ayan will study in the best schools. And when he grows up, he will have a place in my company." The villagers cheered, some wiping tears from their eyes. Ayan's mother, who had stepped out hearing the commotion, broke down in gratitude. Her frail hands trembled as she whispered, "My son gave away his bread, and today, God has given him a future." The businessman bent down and told Ayan, "Always remember, true wealth is not in money or power. True wealth is in compassion and humanity." That day marked the beginning of a new chapter in Ayan's life. From being a boy who often went to bed hungry, he became a symbol of kindness in the village. His story spread far and wide, how one small act of generosity had transformed his life forever. Ayan himself never forgot the lesson. Years later, when he grew into a successful young man, he often told others, "Never underestimate the power of kindness. Even the smallest act, like sharing a single piece of bread, can change the course of a life. Kindness is never wasted. Even the smallest sacrifice can return as the greatest blessing."